just passed the executive order of the century. Obama is livid. President Trump has demonstrated his deep appreciation and love for our military ever since taking office, which is a drastic change from the arrogant commander-in-chief our veterans became accustomed to under Obama. Now, President Trump is doing something incredible for the men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice to defend our freedom in an unprecedented move that just took place at the White House overnight. That's putting a smile on the faces of our veterans while making Obama look like an even bigger jerk. We all witnessed the disgusting way Obama treated our military over the past 8 years, where he reduced Marines to his personal servants to shield him. For the reign oftentimes arrogantly refusing to even return a salute. Who can forget the images of Obama standing in front of the flag-draped coffins of our heroes back in 2012 as he lied his ass off about Benghazi, blaming the attack on a YouTube video? But perhaps Obama's biggest stab at our military was promising our heroes to fix the broken VA, but going on to completely ignore that campaign promises hundreds of thousands of veterans would go on to be forgotten, dying while waiting to be treated at VA hospitals across the nation. Many of our suffering veterans then go on to commit suicide, where our heroes are taking their lives at an alarming rate of 22 a day. But President Trump isn't about to let our veterans suffer any longer. And in an unprecedented move that has Obama likely furious, Trump signed an executive order Tuesday designed to assist veterans in gaining access to mental health services. Here is more from the Western Journal. Titled, Supporting Our Veterans During the Transition from Uniformed Service to Civilian Life, the executive order is the 57th the president has signed since taking office, according to Media AT. The order requires the Departments of Veterans Affairs, Defense and Homeland Security to create a plan to provide seamless access to mental health treatment and suicide prevention resources for transitioning uniformed service members in the year following discharge, separation, or retirement. These departments must also give updates on how to implement the plan, as well as present any new reforms needed to make mental health services more accessible to veterans. We want them to get the highest care and the care they so richly deserve, Trump stated during the signing, referring to America's veterans. But that's not all that President Trump has done for our veterans. President Trump is not only fixing the VA that Obama failed to do and giving our suffering veterans access to medical care to prevent suicides. In a clean sweep that happened in the overnight hours, it's being reported that 500 VA employees have just been terminated and an additional 200 have been suspended for the shady conduct. The Gateway pundit reported. The Department of Veterans made public a list of employee terminations, demotions, and suspensions. It has expressed that this list will be updated weekly in an effort to add more transparency to the department following Congress's push to increase the scope of power by the VA Secretary. President Trump expressed his frustration with the VA back on the campaign trail, stating that the VA was probably the most incompetently run agency in the United States. The bulk of firings were directed at low-level VA workers, such as housekeepers and food service workers, after learning that initial oversight was not implemented. Many of these employees were discovered to be felons, sex offenders, or generally incompetent. This has led to poor care and at times death from neglect for our veterans. VA Secretary David Shulkin said in a written statement that he is doing everything to hold VA employees accountable and will now make the actions of all employees transparent to taxpayers, as they have the right to know what is going on. The Stars and Stripes reports that a list was posted online over the weekend containing the date and type of disciplinary actions for the 800 employees that President Trump is cracking down on. Thank God that our military heroes finally have a commander-in-chief who genuinely cares about them and is doing everything in his power to ensure they receive care after coming home from war battered and broken. God bless our nation's heroes, and God bless President Trump.